Hey, hey y'all. Welcome back to another video. My name is Shannti. If you guys don't already know, I've been missing for so long. It's probably been a couple of months, but I'm back. I've been so busy, like between work, Sephora, and bridal work, corporate events that I've been working at. I've been like extremely busy month after month, and before you know it, we already 7 months in, and I've been away from YouTube, and I always think about YouTube, so this is how I know this is where I belong. No shade. I'm having some technical difficulties, especially with sound. I'm trying to work on getting a mic. I actually brought one and it didn't fit in my phone, so now I gotta return it. Let's just get straight into the video. I'm gonna be talking about why I left Sephora. Just for starters, I love Sephora. Like, that was probably one of my favorite jobs that I've had. It's super fun. I feel like that's a place where you can actually just grow and just be yourself. So that was like one of my favorite things about working at Sephora. I'm just gonna get into a few reasons why I left. I only have 3 points written down here, so if you see me looking down, then it's because I'm reading. So the first reason was just I found myself getting too comfortable. Like, I was really comfortable at Sephora, meaning like I was just used to, driving to the mall. The mall is probably like less than 15 minutes from my house. Just doing that usual route, the usual uniform, the setup, and all of those good things, and just like going to the job, being around all of these products, and it's just the same things over and over again. And I don't know if this is an Aquarius thing, but I like to move around. I don't know. I like different things. I like different adventures. And I think that because I was already previously, before Sephora, I was just working on my business and just doing makeup. I kind of got spoiled with, one, making more money in way less time. And two, just being in different environments, right? Because bridal, that's different venues, different places. Not, every wedding is going to be the same. And then corporate events, that's like the events that's held at the hotel when there's like guest speakers and things like that. So all of that is like new experiences for me that I really enjoy. And then when it came to Sephora, it was just like the same things over and over again. Let's just be real. Like, Sephora is not minimum wage, but it's not that much, the pay. And I do live in Orlando in Florida, so compared to, what I was making in New York, things are different. So I didn't want to get comfortable there. It's really easy. And granted, let me back up. With Sephora, bridal, and everything else I do, I was making like good money, but I didn't want to get comfortable. Moving on, growing my business and my brand is really my main goal. Like, that's the end goal. So I was just like, I didn't want to stay comfortable at Sephora knowing that this is not the end for me. This was just something that I got into. It was easy for me to get the job, and of course the location was right by my house. So that was my ultimate goal, is to build my brand, is my ultimate goal, and to grow my business. So I didn't want to waste time at Sephora knowing that down the line this is not what I want to do. And people don't realize, like, time is everything. And me just like working and then not working, and then realizing like the difference between how much time you have to work on yourself and your own brand, not working a 9 to 5 or just a traditional job, or just not working so much, period. It's a huge difference. And Um, Before Sephora, I was out of work for probably about 6-7 months, and I had so much time to grow my business. Like, that's how I originally started to grow the YouTube channel, because I had time. Granted, my Sephora shifts was only 5 hours, but I was burnt out. Socially, I was exhausted. Didn't want to talk, didn't want to do anything after work. I just want to eat and just relax, exercise a little bit, but nothing too crazy. So with that being said, I really had to sit with myself and think about what's more important. And what's more important to me is to grow my business. And then moving on to like my third point was the hours and your availability. So at Sephora, they do expect you to be available pretty much every weekend. If not every single weekend, at least 3 or 2 of the weekends of the month. Like, you have to be available Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And at the time, I was a flex worker, which means that I was able to go into the app and kind of modify my own schedule. But before I left, they actually took away flex, and now they just have part-time and full-time workers. And being part-time, you have to really follow that schedule of being available on the weekends. Now, I said I was a bridal makeup artist. A lot of my bookings are on the weekends. So what was happening was I was going to my bookings early in the morning and then leaving, trying to make my Sephora shift for either 3 or 4 o'clock, and then staying at Sephora until closing, and then going home. And staying at Sephora until closing, meaning I stay at Sephora until the very last hour that the store is open, or I stay at Sephora until everyone's gone, so past the very last hour, and then there's an extra hour you stay to clean. So that's considered the closing shift. And I was just exhausted. I was tired of running around. And it was just like, from going from, one environment to the next, it was just a little bit too much for me. And Sephora has this point system where you get up to 12 points. So every time you take off, that's 2 points, and it drops off every 6 months. So you'll have to wait 6 months for things to drop off. And a lot of employees at Sephora actually had troubles with the whole points and things like that. So it's really a lot that you have to take account for. And at the same time that I got Sephora, my business is actually growing. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what am I gonna do? And I'm happy that I chose myself first, and not a job, just because it's guaranteed pay. So when it comes to deciding business, versus your job, like, I've done it like 3 times where I've left really, good jobs. I was teaching, and then I also worked for Quest Diagnostics. And I left because I wanted to grow my business. And like I said, Sephora is a great job. Like, I would recommend it to any girl who loves beauty, hair, makeup, nails, fragrance, like skincare. Sephora is the perfect job for you. But when you have a bigger purpose, you just have to believe in yourself at the end of the day. So I'm gonna stop chatting, because I could sit here and blah, 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 all day, like, girl. Anyways, I'm gonna end here. And I just also wanted to mention that I am back on YouTube. For the fact, I'm gonna be posting like 2 to 3 times a week. Definitely Mondays and Fridays. I'll try to get like a middle day, like Wednesday, in there. But if you like my videos, and if you have any suggestions for me, anything that you would want to know, any questions, don't be afraid to comment down below. And also, don't be afraid to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Bye.